so far received their capitation after meeting new regulations. Speaking in Machakos when he toured various schools to confirm receipt of the funds, Bitok said 29,000 schools are yet to receive money pending verification of their accounts and release of the funds to schools.
It's another opportunity once again to tell the nation what's happening on matters education. We are here in Machakos TTC to ensure that the verification process of all the school data is completed on time. The data that is now coming in or streaming in is consistent with our templates, and we are happy to note that the team here is working very hard, burning the midnight oil to ensure that they complete this process. So far, 3,000 schools have been able to receive capitation. They have been able to be verified. They have submitted the correct data, the correct number of students, the correct schools, and the process is going on. And I've asked the team here to work throughout the weekend to ensure that we wire the money as soon as possible. We are anticipating that by next week, end of next week, all our schools, all our 32,000 schools will have received their capitation.
Still on matters education, schools across the country are staring at closure as the capitation crisis deepens, with leaders accusing the government of misplaced priorities. The outcry comes amid revelations that millions are being spent daily on controversial empowerment programs, even as learners face the risk of missing out on national examinations. Naivasha Member of Parliament Jane Kihara has sounded the alarm, warning that financial crunch could cripple public schools, leading to food shortages, lack of learning materials, and in some cases, students being sent home.
Capitation is not coming, it's delayed. The children have opened school. And yet we can see a lot of squandering of money, resources, in things they are calling empowerment. If you are not empowering that child in the school, you don't need to empower grown-ups by giving them beans and 2,000 shillings. 2,000 shillings, even if it's 10,000, it will not get anywhere, it just get used. Ideally is to support this system that was started by His Excellency, the late Mwai Kibaki. It's unfortunate that instead of improving it, we are finishing it. And we want the community to join us in helping us empowering the young people. Once we empower the young people, the issues of security and drug abuse will go down. But
Anua Partners in Hope is celebrating their 15 years today and this year. Anua Partners in Hope is a place of socioeconomic empowerment and a place where leaders are trained to be leaders.
Former Budget and Appropriations Committee Chair and Kiharu Member of Parliament Ndindi Nyoro has decried the high borrowing rate by government that threatens to decapacitate government coffers. Nyoro, who has now become government's greatest critic, says the country has borrowed over 3.5 trillion shillings over the last 3 years, pushing the debt ceiling beyond 11 trillion Kenyan shillings. Nyoro says the Kenya's economy is being teared down through these debts, which amount to 3 times more than what former and the late President Mwai Kibaki incurred during his tenure.
For the last 3 years, our country has borrowed in excess of 3.5 trillion Kenya shillings. So I would want to request all of us as the leadership, and especially those who have the opportunity to make decisions in the executive. Let us serve our country with dedication. And let us not seek to give good narratives out there when the Kenyan economy is actually being teared down or torn down. We have borrowed over 3.5 trillion Kenya shillings in 3 years. President Kibaki borrowed 1.2 trillion in the entire 10 years he was president. And therefore we have borrowed 3 times in 3 years. We have borrowed 3 times what Kibaki borrowed in 10 years. That's the money Kenya has borrowed in the last 3 years alone. What Kibaki 3 times what Kibaki borrowed in 10 years. And in that money, I have not included other debts that Kenya has now become clever to borrow in the name of something called securitization. I have not mentioned even that. It therefore means the economy of Kenya is borrowing 100 billion every month. And every single day, when the lights go off, every day, every single day, Kenya is borrowing 3.4 billion every day. That we are borrowing in a minute. You can do the calculations and see. In an hour, maybe we are borrowing around 137 every 1 hour. I'm saying this because we are now headed to the elections. And what governments do, they focus more on re-election, and we forget that we have a country to lead after the elections. And what that means is that every time we are nearing elections, we start having something called fiscal expansion. Do farmers go for expensive grain?
Machakos County Governor Wavinya Ndeti has raised concerns that devolution is under threat under the current national government administration. Speaking in Yatta, where she joined united opposition leaders led by Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, Governor Wavinya Ndeti affirmed that members of the Council of Governors will not allow decisions to be imposed on them.
Devolution is under threat. Muliona chairman wangu wa Council of Governors akiongea. The two governments are distinct. Kuna national government, kuna county governments. Na hakuna kitu kibaya kama sisi ni magavana, tuna lead counties zetu, tunaambiwa whether you like it or not, we are going to do it. Life is not like that. Hii dunia ni watu kuongea na kusemezana. You cannot force things down the throat of people, not even your own children. I can say we are not happy as the Council of Governors. And we are going to come out very clearly now. We will talk. Hatutakubali kusukumiwa vitu. Tunaambiwa wanajaribu kusema corruption. Sasa wametoa corruption kwa national government. Now governors ndio wanasukumiwa corruption. Governors ni corrupt. Governors ni corrupt. We are not going to naambia tena tumia maneno ya procurement plan. Hiyo procurement system yao. You know your dons. You know very well. With a system, you must first try it out, isn't it? And if it works, kwanza you run it parallel with the old system. And if it works, then you change over to the new system, leaving the other system as a backup. Kuna mambo mengi, there are so many functions. Zile ziko suppose kukua kwa county, bado ziko kwa national government. Agriculture is devolved. Why would fertilizer be bought from the national government? Markets are devolved. Why would markets be built by the national government? And at the end of the day, they have to come to us to show them the land where they are going to build the markets. And after, they don't want even to give the governors the money. They want to spend the money themselves. But we show them where they are going to, mali wataenda kujenga soko. Wa Kenya, sincerely speaking, it is high time we woke up and just spoke the truth and tell the president vile mambo iko. Now,
chaos erupted in Luanda Town, Vihiga County after a road accident left one person dead. A border operator died on the spot after he was reportedly knocked by a 14-seater matatu mid-morning on Saturday. The incident, according to eyewitnesses, angered the public who responded by torching the motor vehicle. The incident happened along the Kisumu-Busia highway within Luanda Township. Locals barricaded the highway and lit bonfires as they protested about the rider's death in a road accident. A fire engine belonging to the county government of Vihiga reportedly lost control and landed in a ditch following the melee as it was responding to the scene of the incident.
Tunaona kwamba gari ya Classic Sacco ndio ilikuwa na makosa. Ile kumeka U-turn ilikuwa haikuwa katika ni reckless driving. Haingeweza kufanya hivyo, hiyo ajali haingetokea. Kwa hivyo tunahimiza kwamba wazingatie sheria za barabara, na mwendeshaji wa hilo gari ambaye hajakamatwa hadi sasa, polisi wanamsaka, alafu atafikishwa kotini. Wakati kisa hicho ilikuwa imetokea ni kwamba hii gari ilikuwa inatoka Busia ikielekea Classic, ilikuwa inatoka Busia General Direction ikielekea upande ya Kisumu, na ilipofika eneo la ajali aliweza kumeka U-turn, ikagonga yule pikipiki ambaye ilikuwa pia inatoka upande ya Kisumu kuelekea Busia, na hiyo pikipiki ilisongeshwa kwa miguu ya gari ya trailer ya soda ambaye pia ilikuwa inatoka eneo la Kisumu kuelekea upande ya Busia na soda.
Kakamega Senator Boni Khalwale has questioned the functionality of the Social Health Authority SHA after St. Mary's Hospital in Kakamega was shut down following a directive from the Ministry of Health. Khalwale also dug doubts into the credentials of the Cabinet Secretary for Health, Aiden Duale, saying the shutdown of the hospital will affect a larger percentage of the Kakamega residents. The fiery long-time legislator says the defunct NHIF should be brought back if the teething problems of SHA are not sorted.
Serikali hospitali yetu ya kutegemea ni St. Mary's. St. Mary's Hospital imefanya nini? Imefanya nini? St. Mary's Hospital, Mheshimiwa Rais, vile umesikia huu umati kiitika, imefunga. Na sababu yenye kufungwa ni kwa sababu ya mambo ya bima, insurance. Mr. President, I'm a professional. Listen to me. I'm telling you what the other doctors want to tell you, lakini hawana nafasi ya kuambia. Mimi ndio daktari aliyepigiwa kura na niko na jukumu ya kuambia kwamba bima ya kutibu wa Kenya iko na dosari mingi sana. Kitu ambayo inaitwa SHA, kitu ambayo inaitwa SHIF. Kama Mheshimiwa Rais, serikali haiwezi rekebisha zile dosari, hiyo kio iondolewe, warudishe NHIF. And let me tell you, Mr. Rice, let me tell you, I'm not doing politics. Hata huyu wakati alikatokatwa, angepelekwa St. Mary's, pengine, St. Mary's ni hapa karibu, pengine angekokelewa. Our people are dying. Watu wetu wanakufa. Ndio nakuambia Mheshimiwa Rais, huyu waziri wako Duale, ambaye katika maisha yake Wakenya hatujui alisomea nini. Afadhali mtoto wa Watitu hapa tunajua alisomea degree in nursing, lakini wale hatujui ako na degree ya kuchunga ngamia ama ni masomo gani. Duale, Your Excellency, amekuja hapa Kakamega kwa maneno ya St. Mary's. Nikasema asanti, amekuja kufungua hospitali. Kumbe alikuwa anakuja kufanya siasa ya NHIF na siasa ya SHA. No, sisi tunataka hospitali ifunguliwe. Na kufungua hospitali, Mr. President, ni kulipa ile pesa yenye hospitali inadai bima yako ya SHA.
All right, allow us to take a quick breather. At that point, we'll be back. As the privatization of power connections, the CS says the illegal practice has promoted discrimination in electricity access across the country. Speaking in Kajiado Central during the launch of a 338 million shillings rural electrification project targeting 1,250 households, Wandai condemned the practice of allocating transformers to serve single households. He described the practice as a major obstacle to the government's efforts of expanding electricity coverage.
Na kazi ya stima au mpango ya stima katika serikali kuu inayoongozwa na Mheshimiwa Rais William Ruto ni mpango ambayo tuko nayo katika kila pembe ya nchi. Hii kaunti ya Kajiado, serikali kuu ya Mheshimiwa Rais Ruto iliweka pesa taslimu kwa bajeti shilingi 1.4 billion kwa ajili ya kuunganisha stima katika hii Kajiado County. Na Kajiado Central likapewa shilingi 338 million. Ili tuwezeshe kuunganisha stima kwa households karibu 1,250. Na nimesikia wakati nimefika hapa ya kwamba kuna watu ambao wana uwezo, wadozi, wale ambao wako na uwezo, wale ambao ni matajiri, ndio wanafanya stima inaelekea kwao, ili hali wananchi wa kawaida wanabaki bure au wanabaki kwa giza. Mimi nimetoa amri ya kwamba kuanzia siku ya leo stima ikiunganishwa lazima iunganishwe kwa kila kijiji. Hakuna wakati tutakuwa na transformer ambayo inasavu mtu mmoja au boma moja. Kwa hivyo hawa matajiri wajua ya kwamba wakihitaji stima lazima waelewe ya kwamba stima ni haki ya kila mwananchi.
Muhoroni Sugarcane Company workers have voiced their frustration over unpaid salaries and statutory deductions despite repeated promises from management and government officials. The workers say their salaries pledged for disbursement for the month of July are yet to be paid, leaving many unable to meet their basic needs. The workers further accuse the company of failing to remit deductions to the Social Health Authority, jeopardizing the access to essential medical services.
Hatuwezi kulea watoto na shida na hapa tunajiita wafanyikazi. Tulikuja kufanya kazi ili tulee watoto wetu, ili tulee familia wetu. Retirement gani mtu anaweza kukuweka miaka 5 bila malipo na chenye unafanya hakuna. Hizo pesa zetu walitukata 50%, mumesikia wengine wamesema. Wakasema wanalima naye miwa ili baadaye tukuje tulipwe hiyo pesa pamoja na wale wanafanya kazi. Leo hii tunawekwa harambee tutoke nje, hiyo miwa yetu iende kungine na sukari. Haiwezekani.
I'm managing a sickle cell child. Then the government and this company cannot pay SHA. From July 15th to date, I've used 37,000 to manage this kid. Yet the SHA would have managed this. Now, do they want my child to die first and then I follow? Because of that, I'm already having pressure that I'm managing. And it is not me alone. So many of us are having that problem.
They have eaten our money enough. And we are directing the Anti-Corruption, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission to investigate where our SHA is going. Because that SHA is being reflected monthly, is when you are being treated. But if you fail to remit that money, where do they take that?
Tension is building in Embu town as market traders prepare for a protest on Monday, sparking fears of chaos and economic disruptions. Business owners are pleading with traders to call off the demonstrations, warning that taking to the streets could cripple the local economy. The Embu Business Association has issued an emotional appeal urging traders to embrace dialogue instead of confrontation. They argue past demonstrations have often spiraled into violence and destruction, leaving behind millions of shillings in losses and hurting the same community.
Respectively and urgently appeal to the leaders and members of the market sector to postpone their planned demonstrations for 7 days. This window will allow for a final, dedicated and high-level round of deliberations focused solely on seeking a long-lasting solution.
Shinda moja ile nimesikia yenye wanasema haiwafurahishi. Kwanza wanasema kuna vitu zinauziwa mahali hazistahili. Na ndio tunasema kila mmoja wetu mwenye anafanyia biashara awe ni mahali hahitajiki ama ni mahali panapofaa.
kila mtu ni mfanyi biashara.
We are calling upon all the Embu youths wenye tunatumika vibaya kuharibu hii town yetu. Wacha tujiangalie na tuangalie the future of our Embu town, of our Embu county. Tushikane pamoja, we talk of peace, we preach peace, ndio tusiharibu biashara zetu hapa Embu.
Ni amani ndio tunaomba hii Embu yetu, tunaomba amani, tufanye biashara zetu kwa amani. Mgomo inaruhusiwa kwa katiba, hiyo hatukatai, sisi hatuna shida na hiyo.
Kuwaomba my fellow riders wenye tunafanya kazi na wao, tulikubaliana ya kwamba tusiitikie kutumiwa kwa njia mbaya, na ninawaomba ya kwamba wakati wa mgomo kama itafanyika wasihusike katika hiyo mgomo, kwa sababu tunajua pikipiki ama watu wa Nduthi wao ni part ya spinal cord ya biashara ya hapa Embu Town.
Vijana wachunge sana mambo ya kutoa tiles kwa sababu mgomo imepangwa na watu wa soko, tusije tukatumika vibaya.
A section of Democracy for the Citizens Party members in Meru County has threatened to ditch the Rigathi Gachagua-led party, decrying irregular changes in the party's leadership at the county level. The angry supporters stormed the DCP party offices in Meru town, demanding reinstatement of their county chairperson Timothy Kithinji, who had been replaced by James Mithika. The members accused the DCP National Organizing Secretary, Mithika Linturi, of curtailing transparency in operations of the party at the county level.
Tulikuwa na chamani hapa wa DCP hapa Meru, na leo tulikuja meeting tumekuta tulichaguliwa chamani mwingine. So mimi nimeona hii chama ina transparent na hii chama imeanzia ukora mapema. Kama ina change chama ni usiku, hata ticket watatunyima.
Hii ndio wenye chama. Si ndio tulitoka ground tukagongwa tiangas. Itakuwaje tena tunakuja hapa mtu mwenye tunaamini ndio tunaweza wekeza na yeye Timo tunapata ashatolewa. Ambia Gachagua hivi babangu. Si ni watu wangubu. Si ndio tulipiga gunsi ndio ingie Meru. Ukitutoka tunaweka baria au ingie Meru kaunti.
We are in agreement. We are going to form a team of the county executive. I have advised what we have not done. That's what we have agreed. In the next 2 weeks, we'll strengthen and we'll have a proper list of officials.
The other position our aspirants have actually demanded from the party headquarters, this should reach our party headquarters, is the SG position. The young aspirants have said they want the Secretary General to be of a younger age, who can be able to connect the party with the young generation that we are looking.
All right, we wrap it up at that point tonight. Thank you for watching. I hope you're duly informed on what is making headlines across the country. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Have yourself a blessed night. And